You see, as duck hunters, we share a mutual problem. And I hate this problem. It's the number one thing that I dread the most about duck season and duck hunting in general. And I really don't know why, because it's not that bad. But let me explain. Just let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm back. Like these type blinds. Like this is my, what's this thing called? This is my No Marsh Invisiman. Well, it's actually case, but I have one, he has one. Let me show you another problem. This is one. Let me show you another one. See, here's another one. And I have another one. There's three total problems. There's this type of blind, like this. There's this type of blind, and then there's this type of blind, and then you have like panel blinds, right? And I have some of them too, but I'm not bringing them in here. So you and I, as duck hunters, we have a problem with these types of blinds. Like I told you, let me explain, because it's a mutual problem. It's the same, I got it, you got it. Every duck hunter on the planet has the same problem with these blinds. Let me tell you what that is. If you haven't figured out what that problem is already, just let me tell you. You have to pre-grass them and pre-brush them, right? I hate it. It's the one thing that I just dread about duck season. I don't really mind the pre-brushing, you know, putting the raffia grass and things like that. I really don't mind that. It's not that bad. But what I hate is you go through all this work here at home and you grass it and you put all this stuff on there, and then you load up and you go out to the marsh and you go hunting, you get set up, and you gotta brush it again. So you gotta brush it twice, because you got pre-brush and then you gotta brush it again out there. It's terrible. I hate it. And there's nothing no worse than being out there on a cold morning and you know, if you got a little hand saw, you're out there sawing limbs and you grabbing your hands and you have to pull and tear grass. It's awful. I just hate it. But I think I know a way that it can be done to make it easier. Let me show you that. Whew. Got it. This rig. I know what you're thinking. What the heck is that? This is the Saker portable hedge trimmer. Now see, I come across this thing and I was like, yeah, as much as I hate doing this might be the ticket. Because if you got a handsaw and you're out there sawing limbs and pulling them and dragging them, that's one thing, because that's really not going to help you much here on, but putting limbs on here. But now grass is what you got to put on here. And see, this thing has like two of these heads. See, like you got this one here that you can just take it and you can cut the grass, you know, ground level, flush. You can cut a little bit. Cut a little bit along, do what you're gonna do. And then if you want to cut a bunch of grass, if you've got a big panel blind to grass and it's you and your buddies, then you can just put that one on there, and then it's like a normal hedge trimmer. You can cut a bunch of grass at one time. You can be cutting while everybody else is taking and putting it on the blind. This little deal here could seriously make that job not be so bad. I can't wait to try it out. I've been playing with it here at the house. I've cut some bushes and some shrubbery and whatnot with it, and I really think it's gonna be helpful. But do you agree that this is like the most aggravating thing with these blinds? You know, you buy the blind, you put it together, because most of them don't come assembled. You got to put the thing together, then you got to spend $150 or so on a couple bundles of raffia grass, and you put the raffia grass all over the blinds, you know, whether it be panel blinds, A-frames, layout blinds, Invisimans, all these things. You put all this raffia grass on there, and then you get to the marsh or wherever you're hunting, and then you still got to brush it some more, because you got to blend into your surroundings, right? You got to hide the blind so you don't look like just a big wad of raffia grass sitting out there, right? So you got to blend into your surroundings. So I get it, but I think this little contraption right here, it's rechargeable, 20-volt lithium ion battery, could be the way to go. Links in the description if you want to check one out. And the sweetest thing about this is you take this little sucker here, even though you've got a couple of attachments here. You got a couple of attachments here, but even though you have a couple like that, you can still break it down and it will fit in your blind bag. That's the biggest benefit. Is I can still put this sucker in my blind bag. It fits in there perfectly. And it's not just because I have this really big blind bag. Even if I was using one of my old backpacks, or even if you had like a satchel style blind bag, it would still work. So if you want to pick one of these up, the link is in the description below. So maybe it's just me, but I really think that this tool, this Saker little mini hedge trimmer thing, could really make this aggravation a lot better. Because there's nothing no worse than pulling frozen grass or frosted grass early in the morning whenever you're getting ready to set up for your duck cut, because it's just miserable. Your hands get wet, now they're frozen. You can do that right there and be done with it, right? So I really think it's the ticket.